Thomas Warrick is former Deputy Assistant Secretary at the US Department of Homeland Security and joins us now live. Thomas, good to talk to you. Thanks for joining us. We've just been talking about any number of things. Conspiracy has been a word we've used a lot to judge both the legal position that's going on here, but also the political situation we're faced with this third arraignment in a federal court. What do you make of the proceedings so far?
Well, obviously, they're only starting, and President Trump, like every American defendant, is entitled to the presumption of innocence. The prosecution will need to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, but everything that has been alleged in the prosecutor's submissions and the grand jury's decision tracks very closely with what the American people understand as a result of the congressional hearings last year into the so-called fake electors plan and the conspiracy that the prosecutor has alleged that President Trump lost the election, knew that he lost, and nevertheless tried to stay in power after his allotted term. So this is one of those situations, I have to say, the American people have made up their minds about Donald Trump. His supporters will continue to support him. His opponents will continue to oppose him. I really don't see this as changing very many minds in the United States over the next year.
So do you not think, Thomas, that if there was a huge, what's been described already as a slam dunk verdict in a court, perhaps when it goes to Supreme Court, perhaps even at a federal level, but if there is an ultimate conviction of such disgrace, do you think there are within that the possibility that will undo, or that the support for Donald Trump across the country will crumble? Or do you think his support base is completely solid, whatever happens?
Certainly the base that he has is completely solid, but as previous elections have shown, President Trump has lost the popular vote twice. And only the peculiarity of the Electoral College, the special way the United States actually chooses the president after all the votes are counted, is what put him into office in 2016. So I think what we're likely to see is the further legal predicaments that Mr. Trump will find himself in may have a cumulative effect on some people. It may cause some of his supporters simply to decide that they won't vote. They may choose to rally behind a third-party candidate. These are all very much speculative at this point. But in terms of the American people, I think many have decided he is guilty. Many have decided he's being taken advantage of for political purposes. And I suspect those opinions will stay the same over the next year.
We're just seeing, as you'll see on the strap on our screen there, that Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to the charges rained against him in the court. No surprises there, but clearly proceedings are underway inside that federal court in the shadow of the US Capitol building, where all those extraordinary events took place just a couple of years ago. Thomas, one other thing. I mean, you worked in Homeland Security. You've been responsible for all sorts of procedures and government measures and protocols and all the business of making a state run safely and securely for the public and for public officials as well. Do you feel a nervousness about these continued arraignments and this continued public blows being landed from either side and the potential weaponization of the law as well in order to score political points? Does this make you nervous in terms of the security of the people that you defended through your career?
Well, actually, I don't think that this is politicization of the law for political purposes. I do have to tell you, though, my thoughts have been with the men and women in uniform in law enforcement whose responsibility it is to protect these proceedings, to keep everyone safe, to allow the dignity that should attend a major criminal case like this one. I have nothing but admiration for the men and women who have helped secure this site. Indeed, like many other Washingtonians, a number of my friends had to cancel previous arranged meetings or lunch dates because they had to work today. They had to work at protecting the courthouse. a number of us, as you could see, chose to work from home because it's a gridlock down there around the site, precisely because there is security in place to make sure that everything is handled safely and with dignity. And I have confidence that the Secret Service, which is responsible for protecting President Trump and his family as they protect President Biden and his family and other past presidents, will be able to manage any situation that may arise in the future.